And welcome everyone to the Man Cave. My name is Paul Knapp, and I will be your host for tonight's show. This is season number 3, episode number 23. And waiting in the green room is my good friend and AOA member in good standings, Mister. Should I call him Mister? He's an artist, man. He's got to have a title before, instead of just Mister. But this is Mister Maxog himself to Castro. So we're looking forward to having him on. But before we get started with that, let me introduce my panel for tonight. And we have Daniel himself, Dan the Man Leather Tan. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
How's your internet going to hold up tonight? You got storms down there?
We had a really good slobber knocker about an hour or so ago, but we're good. We're good.
All right.
I checked the weather report. AccuWeather.
Very good. And Mr. Sexy himself, Rick Bradshaw. How you doing, Rick?
Good. How's everyone tonight?
Good.
So we got quite a full house already in the.
They all came for Robert. You know that, man.
Yeah.
He draws a crowd, man. And apparently this guy ran into Robert this weekend and didn't even know it. Ernie from Ernie's Addict. How you doing, Ernie?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
I see you got some sunshine out there.
Yeah. Inside of the house, the internet's not that good, so I came outside.
That's all right.
So
you got nice weather for it.
Yeah, it's about 84 right now.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
So I'm not missing anybody, am I? No. All right. We had earlier, behind the scenes, Mr. Stacy Armstrong with us, filling us in on his surgery recovery. And I will leave it at that. Unless you guys care to elaborate, because I know he's probably going to be watching us.
Let's just say his nickname is Mr. Cantaloupe.
I will never be the same again.
I'm glad I missed it, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm nearly 60 years old. I could have lived without seeing that.
Just a little too late. Apparently, Stacy has a little swelling going on still from his surgery, and it's swelling in an area only men can get, I guess you could say. Is that politically correct? Am I not overstepping my boundaries with
my locker room days are done, man.
So we'll just leave it at that. We'll say hello. Who's in the? Oh, Stacy was the first one in. Stacy, if you want to write more about your injury, feel free. You can do it in the chat room. Moondoggy's here. Thank you, Moondoggy. Matthew O'Connor. Big Boss Jack.
Yeah. Big Boss.
Yeah. Lone Wolf. Hey. We have the president of the AOA watching us tonight. He's making sure Robert doesn't say anything out of line with the AOA, man. He's president's got to be here tonight. Ronald McDonald, thanks for joining us from overseas. Adam LeMay. Adam, I didn't know you were from Michigan. That's another Michigan guy with Stacy. Andy and Indy, who said they got something? Oh, Dan, you said you're getting something from Andy?
Mm-hmm.
Good.
I'm going to save that for when I get it.
All right.
Top secret. But Andy from Indy is
caught
awesome.
up on who's in the chat room right now. We have a lot of people watching, but they're not chatting in. So chat in if you care to say hello.
Please say hello.
And Ernie, since you had the weekend in Cali, why don't you fill us in on what's new in your zoo?
Okay, so hopefully you got to see the video I released last week about the West Coast G.I. Joe show and Robo Toy Fest. Used to be held in Pasadena, California. It's still considered James D. Simone's G.I. Joe show. This time it was held in Burbank, California. Still a pretty good showing of vendors, especially on the Robo toy side. So, I mean, if you're into like the Marvel, DC, the anime, and all that kind of stuff, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. On the G.I. Joe side, it's a long hallway all the way down to the end of the building. And technically for the size of that G.I. Joe section, there's a lot of good 1/6 scale vendors there. Not so much on the 3 3/4, a little bit more on the classified, but definitely a lot on the 1/6 scale. So if you saw my video, you got to see what I ended up picking up. I had it already inside of the house. Unfortunately, I had to come outside, so I don't have my pickups in front of me. But I do have a couple things I'd like to share, which is something that you guys haven't seen. So I went to Father's Day over in San Diego, and my niece had a little nice gift for me because I had missed Easter, and she picked me up one of these.
The Mini Joes, yeah.
Yeah, the Mini Joe. So this is Duke, and then she had also done me a favor. This was back in March. Some guy was selling this over in San Diego, and since she lives there, she
Nice.
picked it up for me. This is the World Peacekeepers, Kawasaki.
Yeah.
Picked it up for $10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was a good score. And then I'm not gonna move my phone, but I just want to share with you a project I've been working on, and I'll be releasing a video on it. It's not going to be really a tutorial, but it's going to be something that I'm going to be, when I do the unboxing,
Oh,
Nice.
it's going to be like a diorama set.
Nice.
So I did it out of.
Oh,
Oh, he froze.
So it's not done.
Oh, there you go. Cool.
there it is.
Yeah.
That's
So I
awesome.
got some chairs from Cotswold Collectibles. So it'll be, and it's got a light right now, so it lights up at the top. So be looking out for a video on that as well. And that's about it as far as what's new in the zoo.
So James DeSimone wasn't there, was he?
No, I did not see him. And obviously, I didn't see Robert Castro either.
Even though he was right in front of you.
I will not miss that guy again.
He was probably incognito. He didn't want a lot of fans, signing autographs and all that
Yeah.
shit.
Well, and it's because I probably never even thought of it either because he's from Nevada. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have thought that he would have drove down for this show, but obviously he did. So, but now I know in the future for California shows, I'll send him a message and see if I could hook up and stuff like that.
Nice.
But yeah, there's a lot of guys that are actually from that show that are going to go to DFW over in Texas.
Yeah.
If you saw that, I've already plugged him a couple times before. His name is Mark. He's
Yep.
going to have twice as much going to the show that was there, and he had a pretty good 10 by 20, and it was just all full of GI Joes and customs. And he's actually going to be taking double that amount. He told me. He's got an amazing selection, and he's really, really fair on the prices. Like all of those white box figures, if you looked at the prices, all the Germans were $20 off of that price, and all of the other ones had like $10 or $15 off of that list price. So some of those Germans were like for 25, 30, 35 bucks,
Yeah.
all complete. So if anybody's going to DFW, look for Mark Paszynski's booth.
Nice. And I just got to ask you before I let you go: is Pegasus Hobbies paying you for this, or are they sponsoring the show tonight, or what?
I wish. They used to do 1/6 scale stuff. They do in the RC world and stuff like that, but not so much with the figures and stuff like that. They've really died down.
Is that the
But
same
it's a
one that
cool
does the
page.
diorama stuff in 1/32 scale? That's Pegasus.
They do 1/32 stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
135. They do millimeters also.
I think
don't know.
they did a lot of 28 millimeter stuff, and it was really cool.
Yeah.
Good solid plastic.
Yes, yeah. So I buy a lot of my plastic there too, because it's funny. Cos just released his video on the Evader, and I had thought the same thing when I saw Dupree's video on the DFW when he showed those what would have been or future concepts and stuff like that. I thought of also making one too, but mine's way different. His is 3D printed. He's amazing, like Andy and Jeff and all those guys with 3D. I'm old school. I'm doing it if I can do it with cardboard, styrene, plastic, foam, whatever. Then that's my skill for right now.
Stacy says you need to get Pegasus to pay for better internet for you.
Yeah, I know.
All right, I'll move it down here to Dan the Man Leather Tan. Talk to us, brother.
What's going on, everybody?
What you got
All
new,
right.
man?
We're going to dig out here. Got a couple things for you. Well, let's do this for first. Let's see if I can. Everybody wanted to see this real close last week. So.
Oh, the dumpster. The dumpster fire.
Well, that's the dumpster.
Damn,
Wow,
dude.
that's amazing,
Huge.
Dan.
That is huge.
If anybody
Wow.
can figure out what the 5865, that actually meant something, and I forgot what it was. It might be junk, but I can't remember. It could also be something obscene. I have no idea.
Wow, that's really cool, Dan.
But then you got everything, trash bags, little Papa. It's kind of faded now, but it's old. This is Paparazzi's pizza.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Paparazzi's will track you down. And then, so it's right there. But that's the, I'm going to get the right side here.
dumpster Dan.
Yeah, so.
What did you make that out of, Dan?
Oh, this is just a cardstock.
Cardstock?
Yeah, cardstock. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Looks
Yeah.
great.
It's about, I don't know how old it is, probably about 8 years old at this point. It's been kicked around a little bit, which is fine for a dumpster. I mean, it's weird. It's one of the props that as it gets busted up, it looks better. And then let's dig out one of my aged adventure team members. It's got a Corrigan. Here he is, the aged air adventurer. Tonight's
Wow,
wearing
that's
a
cool.
nice yellow jumpsuit and a pair of beautifully made Corrigan holsters.
I was going to say,
Nice.
those appear to be Murray Corrigan holsters.
Yes. His head was done by, I like the soothing voice I have. His head was done by Craig Blankenship from Hair Club from Joe. And he does have a helmet that goes with it.
Wow.
Looks great.
I'm sorry, I can't really. But there it is. That's the helmet. And as far as his A2 logo, this is an adventure gear jumpsuit, and the AT logo I make. A lot of my AT logos are just double stick type things. I put them on because I cannot replace this, so I put that on there. And
Very cool.
So, and then of course I have help me Wanda, help me Wanda, help me Wanda, help me Wanda, help me Wanda. You put the magic in my heart. I'm done. That's it.
I'm trying to see your shirt, man. Who's sponsoring you tonight?
I hope everybody is on the Action Figure Playhouse group. I did a lot of people, and I take things for granted. I assume a lot of people know who Carl Butcher is. I mean, because for me, he's been around for 25 years. And, obviously I'm seeing things like, who is he? Was this a photo story? It's like that. So I don't have it on the web. Tomorrow, I'll be releasing a short story I did of Carl back in 2014. I put it together in some panels, not the way it was originally on the web. I hope it looks good. But I'm going to be putting that short story on the Action Figure Playhouse so you can see it. I am putting it into a video form because I can have I left the cat in the house. I heard a meow. I was like, what? Nobody kick him out. Tomorrow I'll have it put it on there so you can see that. I'm going to put it into a video format, so you can actually have I'll put it on YouTube. That way you can actually watch the photo story and the bubbles and everything will move. So like that. So it is a 2014 version. I really kind of like this one. It was a real short story. It's only like 30 pictures, but it's a good representation of Carl. It is the old Carl figure too, so you'll see the original flocked Carl in this story. So tomorrow, I hope everybody is signed up on Action Figure Playhouse. You better be, and then you can actually see what Carl actually is. So you can always buy his merch. You can buy merch for me.
Who runs Action Figure Playhouse?
The guy named Rick Bradshaw, who I checked in with, and I said,
hey,
can I do this, Rick? May I please, sir, do this?
That was a good segue into Rick.
Absolutely.
What's up, Rick?
Yeah, we love your posts, Dan, in the Playhouse.
I got the cat with me. Look, I got the cat.
No, we can't put animals on. It's against YouTube policy.
Yeah, Jeff asked about. You do have to answer some questions, Jeff, or I can't let you in the Playhouse. I'm sorry.
I can't let you in the
Answer
Playhouse.
the questions, okay?
Michelle D just joined us. How you doing, Michelle?
Want to see what I got tonight?
Yes.
Absolutely, brother.
How about this?
Oh, I remember that set.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's cool.
that's been a minute.
Yeah. A long time ago, I was buying all this stuff up as much as I could. It was cheap too, and
Yep.
you got the nice GI Joe bodies with the different heads and those great Captain Action hands.
Yep.
For some reason, I never opened this one up. It's in really nice shape, really good. And
Somebody else in the chat room asked how they join that chat room of yours, or
just put a request in for the Action Figure Playhouse.
Yeah.
And
on Facebook, right?
On Facebook.
It's an awesome group, guys. It really is.
Yeah, some good,
It is.
talented photographers in there.
Yes, a lot of great art.
So a few weeks ago, I showed Miss Fear, right?
Yeah, I remember that one. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is what the box art looks like for the set.
Yes, that was a beautiful set.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Great artwork.
That's a good set.
And this is what it looks like opened up. And if you look at Miss Fear, she's got her hair is pulled back. It's a little different hairstyle than the one I just showed. And she basically comes with 3 outfits, the 2 in the packaging and then the one she's wearing.
Are you going to open any of those, Rick?
I already did.
Oh, you did. Okay.
That's that one's, sealed up, but I had 2 others that I opened. And here she is in her sultry black dress.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So you have 3 Miss Fears or 2?
3.
3, you do. Okay.
Of course. You want to buy one, Ernie?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
I give you a good price. You know that.
We'll meet you at Kentuckiana next month. You guys can switch.
We've done some good deals. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, if you're interested. Yeah.
I am.
We got Adam with us from the G.I. Joe Lost Chronicles. Just joined us. Man, we got the
Adam?
AOA president, vice president, and secretary with us tonight. Man,
wow, full house tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got to show.
All right. Well, I don't have really anything. I've been working on the photo story for Jeff. And this weekend, I don't know if you guys can see these, but I worked on building a bunch of these. I don't know if you guys can see what it is. Maybe I should make myself bigger here.
Oh, nice.
I know Robert Castro is looking at that and saying, I could make that a hell of a lot nicer than that. But
no, you just need some nice high gloss on it. You're good.
Oh, yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, these are only about half done right now. Yeah. So now, mind you, I'm going to have these glowing in the dark because I'm going to have little fairy lights around them glowing.
Oh, sweet.
Little crystals at the bottoms. But
nice.
That's to go with my story for Jeff for his Golden Skull. So I started working on that. Finally got some of that started. So other than that, the G.I. Joe.
Just so you know, I'm dipping my toe into that also.
Well, I think everybody here should. Ernie, you'd better.
Oh no, I already told Jay I'm in. I have my skull and everything.
All right, cool.
I'm already starting the outline of the story. So
nice. All right. Well, since we went around the room. And we got everybody in the chat room wanting. They're chatting Robert. They don't want to hear us. They want to hear this guy. This is Mr. Robert DeCastro. Hey, buddy, how's it going, man?
Hey, doing good, man. Everybody in the chats, how you doing?
It's been a
Jeff,
while.
That's right. I'm wearing glasses, man.
He's got the.
I'm Dracula. I'm a vampire, man. I'm so light sensitive.
He's got the shades on tonight. What's up, buddy? It's been a few months since we had you on the show, but
yeah,
we've been following your stories, man. Your stories are busting on those YouTubes.
I thought I'd go on because I thought I'd stop all that threats coming your way about me either coming on or they'll send you bombs in a box.
Right.
Yeah. So
why don't you fill us in on something that you can show us versus what you can't
so if you've been watching the channel, you know that I've been doing a custom outfit challenge based on Daryl DePriest's book.
Yep.
Which he gave me permission to officially use it in that capacity. So this was the first one. This was my take on the Spy Island. So
Dude, I think that's such a cool concept. Like you're going through and picking out
Yeah.
different pages in there and just like doing a new. That is so cool.
Yeah.
You know?
They all look great so far, Robert. They all
Yeah,
look
man.
Thank you. So all that is scratch built.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, of course, the second one was Danger of the Depth.
Yep.
And that
Love
one, I don't have the mosasaur with me because it's huge.
Okay, where did you get the mask?
The mask is a Leonard piece. And what I did was I took off the original rubber piece, the head strap, and I just made my own because it was too small. The Leonard heads are really, really small. I wanted him to be able to look like he could talk into the mask.
Yeah.
So I had to get a face like a snorkel or whatever that didn't go into his mouth. And the back piece is just a Hall of Fame scuba tank. I kind of like the detail because it looks kind of like a mixed gas tank, like
Nice.
technical divers use.
Very nice.
Yeah, and I did like buoyancy compensator bags there.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
cool.
You know,
Those-
I was looking for white flippers. Nobody makes white flippers. I had to paint these. I was looking everywhere. Nobody makes white ones.
You got a question from the chat room already. Are you going to DFW this year?
Man, I wish, but it's just the drive, man. Because we actually have to stay at a hotel halfway and the same way back. It was just a long drive. I really wanted to. This
You don't
year.
like to fly? You don't like to fly?
Well, because the thing is, if you fly, you can't really buy much.
That's why there's UPS and big suitcases.
Right. Then I might as well just buy it online, right? But anyway, like Ernie was saying, I was at the GI Joe show in California, and I guess we were looking at the same thing, but I
Yeah.
had like an early pass, so I was able to land this McGilla here.
That's awesome, Robert.
Dude, that was when you showed that, I was like, where did you find that, man?
I didn't even know this existed.
I know, I've never seen one.
I never, only when I saw it, I said, "What the heck is that?" And I thought I had an idea what it was. There was this line of action figures that came out in the UK, but it wasn't 1/6 scale. It was like HMS something, but they were like slightly smaller than 1/6, so that when they make like vehicles, it's actually looks scale. I thought that what it was, but it was a lot bigger. And the guy told me it was a J.C. Penney exclusive, so I've never heard of it. And I had to snag it. I actually left because the guy was walking around to get some food, and I said, "Let's walk around." But then when I went to the robot section of the show, there was this voice that was in my head that said, "Rob, get back to the jet. You're in peril." And wouldn't you know, when I got back there and I was talking to the guy said, "Okay, let me go give him a call, get him down here." There was actually two guys that saw the jet, and they were like, "What the hell was that? What the hell was that? Where did that come from?" And so the guy goes, "JCPenney exclusive, but this guy is already interested in it." So we were like, it looked like The Good, the Bad, and Ugly. that when they get a close up on your eyes and stuff,
The
squinting.
squinting.
Yeah, it was like squinting at each other. I was just like, "Yeah, I got here first."
Yeah. Yeah.
But the thing was, I was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna end up paying full price for this." I just know it now. Not like there's a bunch of guys like eyeing it. But the guy, I think his name was Phil. He still gave me a deal on it.
And you don't have a name brand on that?
It's
Andy said Fairland Toy, but
underneath, I found it. It's
Andy and Indy said Fairland Toys, but
Fairland. Yeah, Fairland.
Yeah,
Fairland.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
bought
missing-
that from Mark.
Oh,
His
Mark,
name
there
is
you
Mark.
go. There it is. Says Fairland Toys, and I was like, how did Hasbro not make this?
Right?
And a small unknown company made it because it was like an opening. You know, it was like Hasbro 21st Century at the time. They made all this stuff, but they never made a jet. Nobody made a jet, right? At least not to my knowledge.
Well,
Yeah,
Hasbro made a jet, but it's
Yeah, we had a plane, but I mean,
well
not
they
a
had,
jet.
yeah, well they had the F9F.
I'm saying
The-
was it for 6 scale?
The Panther jet.
Yeah, the Panther, the F9F Panther, but it was
No,
like
what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
like during like the resurgence when 21st Century came out.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
No, they
Right.
made the Little Bird helicopter. It
Little
was-
Bird helicopter with 21st Century Toys.
Right.
I don't think they made a jet. Yeah.
Nobody
No,
made a jet, and certainly not one that big. I think
No.
that is the biggest jet that was specifically made to take 12-inch figures because it fits in there real nice too. Good
Yeah.
head clearance. You can still put a helmet on the guy. So what I'm going to do is because it sits low, when it sits on the ground, the scale gets ruined. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like a removable landing gear that's going to make it sit way taller, and it's going to have like hydraulic details and maybe like a hint of like the panel that closes up when the gear goes up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's just going to be like something I could stick on into the recess, just so when I want to display it while it's like taxiing or whatever, and then when it's flying, I can just put a panel in there to cover it.
So it's
And-
totally hollow inside. It's not.
It is. It's light, actually. It's light, but it's a good kind of plastic. It isn't like that lawn chair plastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very paintable. I can tell it'll take paint really well. So what I'm going to do also is detail the inside, have LED lights, and we're going to have like, I don't know if I could make like that big of a water transfer decal without tearing, but we're going to paint it up like a model plane. It's going to have actual livery of an F-22 Raptor, I guess.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Mike Bowinski was asking me if I was going to paint it yellow. I was like, no, because I think it's got a lot more potential as a straight up military jet.
Yeah.
Yeah, because especially with the movies I make, I can just see like a jet coming in,
Sure.
about to bomb the city if you don't
Fly
complete
by.
your mission on time, kind of deal.
Did it originally come with a figure? I wonder. A pilot?
No, but it is missing some missiles that go underneath the wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is no big deal because those F-22 Raptors, they're not supposed to have missiles under the wing anyway. Because it's
They
supposed to
tuck
fly.
under.
Huh?
Everything's
They
internal.
tuck underneath the wing.
Yeah, because if you do, then that's it with the stealth,
Yeah.
features of the plane. So, but I don't know. Knowing me, I'll probably add the missiles in there. I'll just probably make it, fabricate it, or whatever, just for
Well-
shits and giggles.
Lone Wolf says it reminds him of Clint Eastwood, Firefox.
That's interesting
go.
because I was wondering, how I'm gonna do the pilot's outfit, and then I remember that that movie he had like a nice black suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Black,
Yeah.
was it white helmet?
I'm not sure. I think it was a black helmet, wasn't it?
I thought it was black too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I found a helmet on eBay that was going to be perfect. It looked so stealthy and futuristic.
It's
But at
bad
the
that I
same
don't remember
time-
because I just watched that movie a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so I might do a custom pilot, like a test pilot type, suit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dude, that's sweet.
And of course, I got my new flocking box.
That is beautiful, Robert. That box is great.
I wouldn't have even done that if it wasn't for the fact that I have a YouTube channel, because it would have been just like a plastic bin or a cardboard box. But I thought, hey, it should be part of like the show, because it's pretty neat. This part right here, I actually it was from when I bought my car. Like my car had a bag in it that had like spare parts, like there was a spare steering wheel and shifter, and this thing was like in it, and I thought it was Sony. It was a shame that the guy wasn't able to put it in the car, but so I made a use for it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
It's all thanks to Jeff, really, because he was the nexus out of all this, because I never thought about like flocking, until he was like, he planted the idea in my head, because he said, but in one of this video, he said, if you're a G.I. Joe fan and you like customizing, it's like being a Jedi. You have to make your own lightsaber. So once he planted that idea in my head, I was just like, okay, I got to do this now, Plus, my goal was to be able to flock hair like Stacy and Angelo, which I'm probably going to be miles away from that for a while until I perfect it. But I was pleasantly surprised how fast the hair stuck to it, because I have two ways that this thing operates. I don't know if you can still see it from there, but
Yeah.
This thing has two nodes. One is like, how you see everybody else does it, where the node is fixed.
Yep.
Right. And then I saw somebody who had like the nodes that was actually part of the stick. So I made a bunch of these. It's just copper wire that's wrapped around a PVC tube, and it goes all the way inside and all the way to the end. And I just connect that into a secondary, like optional place for the node. And I'll just turn either one off and on. And this I found was actually the best way to flock heads. Because if the head is shoved right in there, it flocks it super fast. I mean, I put it in there and that sucker was covered.
Huh.
Right away, it was covered.
Very cool.
But it's just made from scrap wood that was in my garage. I just painted it.
Well, you're definitely a Jedi with that flocking box. I must be still a Padawan because I got one of the handheld flockers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like I said, it's all Jeff.
Yeah.
It's all Jeff. And lastly, I've been working on this monstrosity over here, and it's taken a while because the part that's most daunting is getting the chassis fabricated. So I've started on the chassis. It's all extruded aluminum, and I wanted it. I thought it was really important that everything was precisely drilled and everything, so there's no shift.
That's for your monster car, right? Your monster.
This guy right here.
Yeah.
For that thing is going to be crazy because it has 4 live axles. Each axle has its own motor, so it's going to have.
Did Jim Egner make some stuff for you for that, or no?
No, not so far, no. But it's going to have. This is just one of the axles.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Jeez.
so that it has its own gearbox and it has its own electric motor, and each one, because it's so big and heavy, each one that's a servo mount right there. I haven't installed the servo yet, but it's going to be held in here. So each one of these is going to have its own servo. So when I have it on the controller, I actually have to use a helicopter radio. I can mix the steering. I can have just the front steer, back steer. I can make it crab, just like this guy right here. Nope, this way.
Yeah.
Scarab. I think you guys seen that one.
Yeah.
Scarab. Yeah, that's how I found you. The videos I saw on that, man.
Yeah. So, but once that chassis is completed and everything is installed, the fun part begins, which is building this thing right here. Yeah.
Your vehicle reminds me of that one episode of Speed Racer.
That's exactly what everybody thinks.
Yeah. Remember, it was the actually
Yeah,
made
the
out of
mammoth
gold.
car.
The mammoth car.
Mammoth
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, it was made out of gold. Yeah.
Out of gold, right? Yeah. No, I get that a lot too.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
But,
gonna be so fun to see that move, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't wait.
You keeping it color or you painting it?
I want to color it yellow. Right now, it's the bare color, the original color, but it's not consistent. And I wanted to do it yellow so that if for any reason, because there's so many opening doors that should the paint get scratched, it wouldn't look too bad.
Yeah.
This is yellow underneath. But I just wanted I like the way my helicopter, but that Killer Bee, I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah.
The custom 21st century helicopter. I like the way that yellow turned out, so I'm going to use the same paint. And it's the back cab is still going to be functional like the original MSV, but instead of like the cardboard insert, I'm making the cardboard insert into like a 3D version of it. So it's going to have like styrene. Everything's going to be styrene plastic, and it's going to have like working, like, well, not working, but it's backlit. The TV screens are backlit.
Yeah.
And like the phones, you can actually open the phone and use it, and stuff like that. I think you could You can also plug in like the headphones, and it's going to have LED lights everywhere.
Neat.
I just learned this new trick. It's like a wireless LED where you attach this like cathode or something on the LED, and you make this coiled copper wire, and as long as it's within that circle, the LEDs will light without any wires.
It works with the magnet, right? Does it work with the magnet? I've seen something
I'm not
like
sure.
that.
I'm not sure. It was some kind of, it was some kind of doodad you can order on Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
For guys that are into electronics. But the guy shows it step by step, and I tried it. I was like amazed. I don't have it. No, it's too far.
Was it the Smuggler's Run? His channel, Smuggler's Run?
I don't remember. It was an Asian guy. No, it was an Indian guy.
Oh.
And he showed it like the wire was like coiled like 8 times, and then you connect another type of cathode in it. But it's neat. I'm like, wireless. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. I bought Jim Egner's like the armored cab.
Yep.
That goes on the MSV.
Yep.
But when I put it on this thing here, it somehow I wasn't feeling it. But I discovered this channel called Cut Transform Glue, where the guy takes a bunch of like trash and he makes like these gnarly like mechs and robots. And I'm gonna use Jim Egner's cab for that. So watch out for that. That's gonna be a fun build.
So what's your next photo story, man? What are you working on in the photo?
In the middle, actually, I'm in the middle of shooting my golden skull.
You're trying to knock it out too, huh?
Yeah, I'm halfway actually, and then I hurt my foot. That's so I'm kind of. I don't know if I seem heavily medicated right now because I hurt my foot trying to shoot that dang video. But,
injuries from the video. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's all from the art, n'est-ce pas? Yeah, but and Demon's Eye, the last episode is also written up, and I've done a few scenes from that. You guys are going to be really, really surprised at the end.
So let's talk about your photo stories for a second.
All right.
That came up at the last when Jeff was on, and then the time before that with Dan was showing us how he does his. How do you go about developing your photo story? Do you have a book and you draw pictures and draw scenes? Do you just kind of go out and wing it? Does it just come to you as you're making it? How do you do yours?
It changed organically. At first, it was all cowboy. I would just shoot the scene, and then I would fit the dialogue on it, and then I would just get like people pointing out like stuff that didn't quite sync. So I started changing my method. I write everything, dialogue. I write out the shots. I don't do any kind of rough sketches on the scene, and so I'll set up the scene, and then I record the dialogue on a small tape recorder, right? And then I play it when I shoot the scene. That way I'll know where to shift the camera, because on the recording it'll say who's speaking and who's going to speak next, so I'll know where to shift the camera.
Wow.
And then when I go to edit, I just use that same dialogue, and then I do the voice acting myself, even the female ones, and I use a voice changing app.
Yeah, I remember you talked about that.
Yeah, it makes a difference too, because if you do text to speech, it doesn't emote very well.
Yeah.
And a lot of times sounds like robots.
Yeah, you don't get that emotional.
Yeah. You really and
inflection.
so I gotta do it like by myself, because sometimes my kids have guests, and there I am at the studio yelling out, Susan, duck, or like take cover, because you gotta really,
That's awesome.
because it makes a difference, because if you say Susan, take cover, that voice is gonna do just that. So you gotta belt it out, or it won't work. I found that out. Yeah.
Hey, Robert, on your videos, have you considered, or what's your take on using AI? Have you used it at all, or have you tried, or you're just not interested?
Because the voices are AI. The voices are AI, and it's a great tool. But of course, like everything, it can be abused.
Right. Yeah.
And but actually, I'm thinking about, there was this software I always see on Facebook where you can add in like gun flashes and shell ejecting, and you can do you can add in monsters and stuff like that in the scene. I don't know if I'm that capable yet on how to handle those special effects kind of things, explosions and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But
I'm
I don't
trying to
mind
learn that
using
too.
that. I don't mind using AI. Being an artist, there is kind of like a love-hate relationship with the AI, but it's more with the companies, because like the companies that harvest what their AI is using hurts artists. Right now, there's a Chinese and an American artist. One is a photographer, one is a painter, and they're in a big lawsuit right now against a couple of the biggest AI art companies out there. And the photographer one, some guy actually ripped off her style, had a art show in France, and he won a lot of money. And if you put their work side by side, I mean, it was an obvious ripoff.
Really?
Yeah, that's where I kind of draw the line. When you start to,
Cool.
kind of like, oh, this is my art. Because to me, it's like, okay, I'm like, okay, so let's say, right now we got hit by EMP and all the technology gets wiped out. Can you still pick up a brush and a paint and hit that canvas and have the same kind of results? So now you kind of have to ask who really is doing the work.
Right.
You see what I mean? Because we could be put back in the Stone Ages. Give me a piece of charcoal and a piece of rock. I could make an image. There you go, Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so exactly.
And it's like anything else. Even back in the old days, just with regular painting, look how many people were making counterfeit paintings and selling them as originals.
Right. Well,
so no matter what type of technology or thing we get into, there's always going to be somebody abusing it and cheating and using it for bad things.
I know. Well, because if you imagine, there was a time when like airbrushing was frowned on.
Right.
Like when airbrushing became a thing, I was like, people were like, "Oh, that's cheating." I was like, and then of course, I have a friend, a good friend of mine, that does the same kind of toys that I do, like the vinyl Sofubi toys. His name is Mark Nagata, and he paints traditionally with paint and canvas and everything, and airbrush. And when Photoshop came out, he got pushed out of work. Okay, because he didn't know how to use Photoshop at the time, and this guy was famous because 9 times out of 10, if you got a Goosebump book, Mark Nagata did the cover for that, and all that was hand painted and airbrushed. So, and then of course, like photography, there was a time when photography was frowned on. It wasn't considered art.
Yep.
AI to me is a tool. It does great. If used properly and stuff, it's a neat tool. I don't have any problems using it. It's like when you're cooking, it's the seasoning, but you don't want it to be the dish.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
That makes sense. Right.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
And this question kind of goes out to anybody. This is not directed to you. Scotty Z wants to know, is anybody attending the Joe Fest this weekend? And is there any 12-inch exclusive figure going along with Joe Fest? I don't go to Joe Fest because it's mostly 3 3/4. I don't know if anybody else here. Do you guys go? Robert, did you ever go?
No, it's too bad about that California show, how it's one day. I think I can't believe that show is a one-day show only.
Yeah, the Burbank one.
California is so big, and
Yeah.
I can imagine there's so many G.I. Joe collectors there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know James DeSimone back in the 90s tried to do one in Las Vegas, which coincidentally was where I rediscovered G.I. Joe. And everybody was saying the same phrase. It was dry as dust. And when I moved here, I realized nobody here collects G.I. Joe. If you collect Hot Wheels, go to Vegas, go to Nevada. Die-cast here. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of Hot Wheel guys in Nevada, friends.
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
Nevada's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, Steve Stovall said he'll be at Joe Fest, but he said there's no exclusive figure.
Man, if DFW wasn't so dang far, I would be doing it every year, and I guarantee you I'd have a exclusive set for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to make my choice this year, and I decided to go back to Kentuckiana. I didn't go last year. I went the year before, and man, that's a great show for 12-inch stuff.
That's near you, isn't it?
Louisville? No, it's near you.
Really?
It's an 11-hour drive for me, man. I don't know about you.
Well, who knows, man? I might look into it.
Yeah, that's a 2-day affair. Friday night, Saturday.
I saw the video. You were there last year, right?
The year before last. Oh, last year I went to Joe Lanta. I went to Joe Lanta last year.
Was that Joe Lanta?
Yeah.
Well, Kentuckiana, I heard was a lot of 12-inch.
Yeah, there was a good bit. That's about an 8-hour drive from me, from here.
8 hours. Okay. Yeah, look that up, man.
2 for me.
Yeah.
I know you should be going, buddy.
Now.
Yeah. So
we got a lot of people in the chat room. We got 30 people in the chat room. Ask some questions, man. We finally got Robert Castro on. Anything else new? I know you said there were some things you can't talk about. I know you got some.
Well,
some secrets back there.
The next outfit challenge. Obviously, you can find out if you have Daryl DePriest's book, because I'm going by chronological order, just exactly how he laid it out. Because when I talked to Daryl, he said that everything in there was chronological in release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going by that. James DeSimone's book was good, but there was a lot of mistake in that. So I did.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I got both of those books kicking around here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, and the photography on there is good too. So
Well, we had the photographer on here as a guest.
Yeah, Kurt.
Yep.
Fukuda, right?
Yeah, he was great.
Fukuda? No, Fukuda.
Said it all. He did it all in 2 days, and that was
Yeah,
crazy.
that book is a great inspiration. That started me doing photographs of all the different things too.
Yeah.
Because they did a lot, but I started building up all the sets and started taking pictures of them.
Right.
Modifying them up myself too. Putting instead of using the original bodies, I put super articulated bodies into the figures and use that with the gung ho hand just like that. So I just started replicating a lot of those. And that was a project I really wanted to do. So
There's fabulous pictures you take, Dan.
oh, thank you, appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Same back at you, man.
Thanks.
Rick, you got anything?
No, just keep posting in the Playhouse, Robert. We like seeing your stuff in here.
Thanks. Hey, that fireman figure that you showed, I've got a lot of the extra samples. If you haven't opened it yet and you want just the uniforms, I could send you a bunch of those.
Oh, I have a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Because I was buying those things up like crazy.
Yeah, Kirk sent me a bunch of samples. I've got them all in a box somewhere.
Yeah.
So
I haven't seen the big trapper back behind you. Can you show me that?
sure, it's a heavy Magilla, but
I wouldn't even call that a big trapper anymore. I don't know.
if this hits you in the ankles at full speed, this will break your legs.
Oh
I
wow.
guarantee you.
Okay. Whoa, that is beautiful work.
I love that thing.
Yeah, see the chassis
Wow.
underneath? That's all extruded aluminum and aluminum rods.
Wow.
Same
That
thing.
is so awesome.
That is fantastic.
Six wheels on it too, right? It's
Yeah, 6. And
I
like I said, it's all motorized, so it's 6-wheel drive, 6-wheel steering.
That is a beautiful piece of work. I mean, really, beyond all the RC components, I'm just looking at what you did here. That's just fantastic.
right.
Yeah.
I changed it 6 times. That's why it's called a Mark 6. But that was like when I had to wire all the lights and everything. It reminded me of when I used to work on my car. The wiring is bananoids in there. All the electronics are all in this box I had to fabricate. So it has all the function like the diesel engine sound, and then I tried to put the separate speaker for the machine gun, and found out it drove the entire electronics crazy. When I turn it on, all the servo would just go wah, 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 and it was
really?
yeah, for some reason it caused interference. So what I did is I hid the speaker in the ammo box. Can you see that?
Oh yeah. Yep. Okay.
No, I
Okay,
see it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I fabricated the ammo holder and the box, and I hid the speaker in there.
So when you're
Yes.
saying fabricated, are you building this as styrene and glue,
Styrene
or are you
plastic.
like any kind of 3D printing, or?
Oh, I don't know how to 3D print.
Oh, that's fine. Neither do I. So
Yeah, so there's the machine gun is an old Action Man piece that was electronic,
okay.
and there's a cam in there for the lights, and it's slaved to the sound. So it's in sync. It's in sync when you turn it on, and of course it's servo controlled, so it can pivot.
we all do have to give the Action Man stuff props. I mean, I know it's all molded in yellows and purples and all these weird colors, but the Action Man toy, the toy line from the early 2000s, whatever, they were just so awesome. I mean, it's no wonder that when they brought back Adventure Team, they actually stole a lot of stuff from Action Man and repurposed it for the Adventure Team. So
Right.
it's great
you're
water. I've got
Oh, you're
here somewhere. I have to dig it out. I got the sub. I got a bunch of Action Man stuff.
That one is actually a vintage Action Man piece. It was OD green, and the battery was also in the ammo box.
Even still, but still, Action Man. They're the first ones that came back with the flock heads, and I mean, they were so far advanced.
Oh yeah, it was like they were really like undersung, because like another line too that I found was really well made that's underrated is like the Max Steel line.
Oh yeah, good old Max. Exactly.
They're so well made, so well engineered. I was like, I'm surprised that this thing really didn't catch on. I think it's because Max Steel was too pretty looking. He looked like a Ken doll.
Yeah, he did.
He looked a little too pretty, like a boy band member.
Right here.
He looked like somebody from a boy band.
I got him.
You know what though? But Max still had the best villains.
Yeah.
They had the cool villains.
Hello, ladies. Hello.
Yeah, exactly, right. And he had it was a lot more extensive too, the villain, especially when you go into the foreign market where it was really big.
Yeah.
They had tons, because I'm like, I think Adam from Lost Chronicles, he uses a lot of that, and I mean, these guys are like you have like crystal monsters. There was one looked like a plant monster. I haven't seen anybody use that yet.
The bioconstrictor. Remember the bioconstrictor? His neck would stretch out.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That
those
was
are
creepy.
so cool.
Yeah,
those are so cool.
Yeah,
I actually have all 3 versions of that.
Yeah,
they made 3 versions of that, and one was harder to find because I think it was only released in like other countries, but it was the one with red pants, I think.
Yeah, there was a lot in Greece. Like if you look at a lot of the listings on eBay for Max Steel, they're all like in Greece.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah,
like I would never picture Greece as a 1/6 scale toy, community.
No, my Max Steel came out of Cali,
like Spain or UK.
Yeah,
my Max Steel came out of California.
Max Steel. What kills me with the Max Steel stuff is like a lot of the good stuff you can only get in the UK.
Yeah,
like whenever you have Maury Corrigan on, I saw like what looks like a deep sea sub on his shelf, and I was wondering what the heck that was. And I looked it up, and it was actually an Action Man piece. And I could. There was only one on eBay at the time. I was lucky. I was able to get it. It's upstairs right now. But it looks like one of those, deep sea sub that would like check out the Titanic or something.
Yeah, I've got one right here. In one of these tubs right beside me. I got one. Yeah. You put your hand inside it.
Hand in there.
Yeah, I got one right here. Yeah, I got one right here.
Huh.
And the thing was like, why didn't Hasbro? I mean, Hasbro owned it. It wasn't a Palatoy thing. It was all Hasbro. Why didn't Hasbro bring that over?
Action Man had that Formula One car, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't they market
and
that?
I had one, and I sold it, and I've always regretted selling it.
Oh,
so.
I know where you can get one, Dan.
You have one?
Yeah.
One of those too.
It almost went to Ernie, but
the shipping was too expensive.
Rick's got one of everything, man.
they usually have a function. Rick, what does this do? Like the Formula One must have like a secret vehicle hidden in there. Is there anything like that?
No, sounds. Make sounds.
It has some missiles, I think, in it.
Yeah.
In the nose, doesn't it have like a couple missiles that pop up? The nose pop up.
I got it right over there. I can look at it. I'm not sure if it does anything, but you're probably right. If it's Action Man, it must do something.
Yeah, I know.
If you got that, hold on one second. Let's see if I can find the sub.
Yeah, I know it has sounds for sure.
The sub is super cool, man. I love that thing. I don't even need to repaint it. Oh wow, look at that, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I think,
Holy crap, that's huge too.
I think there was a missile goes in there, and you can push the button, and it probably releases it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much it retailed for when it came out?
Well, that's the weird. I don't know. I don't. But you can. Ernie, did you ever get one from England?
You know what? When I couldn't work out the deal with you, it had sold already. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that thing is so.
I'm still looking out for it.
But you can. So what you were going to get that for like $60, right?
It was
Delivered
cheap. Yeah, it was like
from England.
$50 worth of shipping.
And this was going to cost. This was going to cost me $100 to ship to Ernie.
Yeah.
in California.
Adam LeMay said there's one for sale on Facebook Marketplace.
Really? The thing is, though, the shipping is the one that kills you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, Dan. Look at that.
And this thing is heavy.
Wow,
Yeah.
I did that thing.
Mine is missing the little gun on the side, though. That thing that comes off. That's the only thing that's missing on mine.
I have one of those. Those are actually really cool.
Yeah.
So it's
And
almost like
I've got the
hand
whole
puppet.
thing that goes with. But here we go. Come with me.
I
So
wanna see if I
he
can
lays
get that
down in there,
phone
right?
too. Was that?
Yeah, he lies down. I've got him here somewhere too. So
Yeah,
see
the
if
figure would lay down in there, right? And then
he goes in the
Yeah,
front.
he lays down in there. Yeah. Which I would imagine would be the most uncomfortable thing in the world. Imagine.
Yeah.
Because going down takes hours.
Give me the
So
effect.
imagine being stuck for hours. That thing as it goes down.
Bing.
Dan.
you shoot that because you're firing blanks, man.
Yeah, I think the spring went. There's a missile on the spring.
You're like Stacy. You're like Stacy right now. You're shooting blanks. I wonder if he's still watching.
Now I'm in flashbacks. Cantaloupe. Second never be able to eat cantaloupe again.
Poor Stacy, man. So, dude, that's a quick hour with you already, man. We're already over the hour mark. I can't believe it. I could talk to you all night, man. Just getting ideas and shit, and seeing where you're going with the Joes, man.
Yeah, I can just meander on and shit.
Are you going to any more conventions this year? Anything on the list?
Let me tell you, man. Next year when they do DFW, I'm gonna see if I could make it. But this year, this one, I don't think so, because we gotta, it's me and my my dynamic duo, my wife that goes with me, and we gotta plan this if it's gonna be that long of a drive.
Yeah.
But I really want to get to the DFW show next year, and if I don't know, I don't know how far Kentuckiana is, but if it's actually nearer. What's that?
How are the
Jeff is
eyes,
asking
right?
how are the eyes. Oh, yeah, I'm light sensitive. That's from years of like drawing with the tablet right there in my face,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would get like gnarly migraines, man, just with like normal lamps now. I can't even, like at night, especially for some reason, I turn on just like a desk lamp, and it really gives me a headache that starts right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like a Dracula, literally. I gotta wear like sunglasses a lot. That's probably why Ernie couldn't recognize me when at the show. I was wearing.
Probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Someone earlier in the chats was asking where you were located. I didn't know if you wanted to give that out, really. But
Oh, I'm in Henderson, Nevada.
you're in Vegas? How close to Vegas are you?
Oh, just minutes.
Oh, okay.
We're at the border. We're at the precipice of Las Vegas.
So when you went to the California show, how long did that take? How far are you?
I think it was just like 5 hours.
Oh, it was that far? Oh.
Yeah. I mean, we went there, did a couple of hours at the show, and then it drove right back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. It wasn't. I was surprised how small the show was. Because
Yeah.
it was a 1-day show. Now I understand why they kind of, made it like a G.I. Joe Robo Fest.
Yeah.
I gotta say there was a lot of robot stuff there that was very tempting.
Yeah.
Look over the mileage with your wife to Kentuckiana and see if you can't swing it, man.
No, I'm gonna look into it, man.
Me, Angelo, and Rick are doing the road trip, so
Yeah, no, I did enjoy it when I went there. So
be a cool show if you can make it.
What we should do is like for 2026, let's all plan on doing one show, and we all go there and hook up and get together.
yeah, I just gotta decide what show it is.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't mean you can't do other shows. I'm just saying maybe we can get everybody together Because I wish I can go to Kentucky with you guys. That sounds like a good trip.
Yeah.
I had to pick one this year, and that was it, man. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Do all 3, 4.
Yeah. No, it makes sense. It's closer to you, right? Than Texas.
It's about 8 hours for me, and I'm in South Carolina. So,
Jeff says Robert and I need to do a Shogun show. Well, with the pre-orders that me and Jeff kind of went in, I think we might just do that. Let me know how you want to do it, Jeff. Yeah, we're both robot fans, me and Jeff.
I was gonna say you didn't even pull out one of your newest creations that you took to. Weren't you selling ones in California show or Comic-Con recently?
On the last show?
Yeah. Do you have any left? Or did you sell?
I've got the sample that I have. Because they sell out like pretty fast. But let's see.
Andy and Indy's got the weirdest humor, man. I swear to God.
But let's see. Yeah, this one.
Jeff's still pissed at Steve Stovall for Kentucky not having any.
This is the only one I got left, but this was my sample because so far when I do these, I don't get to keep one.
oh wow,
And
they're like one of a kind, right? Or do you?
No, well, so I'll do a run of like 20 or 30, and in that run I would do 3 different color schemes, and this is one of them. And like they usually have like different heads and different like chest pieces and back pieces. I have like 3 different like arm and leg combinations. So when I do a release, I can mix and match the parts because that's how I designed it to be modular.
oh wow.
Is it mechanical?
No, it's it's what Jeff was referring to from the other show. He had a friend that was interested in Sofubi, Japanese vinyl. That's what this is.
Oh,
but it's still got some movable parts.
Yeah, it has articulation at the shoulder, the hip, so it does all
Oh,
that.
I see. Okay.
It's more like an art piece, really.
Yeah.
So
Does
it isn't
does it
like
light up?
backstory.
Does it have any lights? Anything like
No.
that? No.
No, it's these kinds of toys originated in Japan. It was sort of like it was a popular toy in Japan because parents could easily like give it to their kids. It was a cheap toy to
Oh, I see.
buy.
Okay.
But through the years, these collectors, they start to get money and everything, and they would buy these things, and it became kind of like a thing in Japan where it was sort of like art, and it kind of migrated to the U.S. And I'm one of a handful of guys that do this in the U.S.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually just got my molds sent back here to the U.S. because I'm shifting production in the U.S. because these things are hard to get pulled from the Japanese factory because like it would take months to get an order back from Japanese factories. And there's one guy in the U.S. His name is Paul Shiola. He's that guy that pulled those alien heads for me from I don't know if you've seen my Gorgax figures.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's the one that pulled those for me. He's the only guy that I know that's able to do that. These kinds of toys in the U.S.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, those Gorgax are beautiful, man.
Something else.
Yeah, that came from a figure that he did, and the head was like that big, and then the body was small. It was like a super deformed figure.
Oh wow.
But when he had it in his hand, he posted a picture in Instagram, and I was like, that looks like it could fit on a 1/6 scale G.I. Joe body. So I asked him, hey, could you pull like half a dozen heads for me? And I told him what I was going to do with it. He said, "I tell you what, I'll give it to you for less than wholesale if you can make me one. So I made him one.
Oh,
The
wow.
first one I made, I sent to him, and then I made 6 for myself.
Nice. Jeff wants to know what type of plastic that, or is it similar to the jumbo Mashinder?
Jumbo Machinders or Shogun Warriors, those big 3-foot robots, those are polypropylene plastic, like shampoo bottle plastic. This is actually vinyl. And it's not like any kind of other vinyl. It seems to be proprietary to Japan, and they're very reluctant to share it. But it's just recently that other countries like China has gotten the formula. And what's great about the Japanese vinyl, they're the only ones that can do optically clear vinyl, because that's clear. And what I did there is I printed art, and then I put it on a plushy kind of a pillow shaped thing, and I put it inside the TV monitor. You can see I was trying to do like lenticular like images, so that when you do that, the image was different.
Yeah.
But I haven't figured out a way to put it in there without making a crease on the card.
And you airbrush those, or do you hand paint
Yeah.
them?
So with robots, it's different. It's different than like doing monsters, because this you have to like mask everything. And so like for that shoulder stud there, that's freehand. There's no mask. And I'll show you what the masks look like. And they're expensive too. That's why a lot of Japanese manufacturers don't use too many masks, because it's expensive. But they're precision instruments basically. And these masks are literally like an art form on their own. If you see here, it's all brass, and that is precise. If you put your fingers through there, you won't feel that seam.
Oh, wow.
It's all hand formed, and it will fit right on that body, and paint will not get underneath.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There is a reason why when the Japanese do their, like I don't get my mask from China, because they're like
Wow.
they can't do it as precise as the Japanese do it, because those guys are like artisans. They literally
That is.
live above their factory. So they wake up in the morning and they know what to do. They know what they do in life. They wake up, and I'm like a mold maker. I'm a whatever, and that is what I specialize in. So
Dude, that's pride in your profession. Right there, man.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
when you get stuff done in Japan, because it's more artisanship over there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, in China, it's basically like, ching, boom, ching, you know.
Yeah.
Right on.
So,
Well, dude, we're over the hour mark. Anybody else have some final questions?
No, that was awesome. That was just
Rick,
fantastic.
are you ready with the mayonnaise question tonight? Mayonnaise jar question?
I do have a question for Robert.
Okay,
Are you ready?
here we go.
Ready for the tough question, Robert?
yes, sir. Let's do it.
What's your favorite action movie?
Action movie. Commando. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Old school.
It
baby.
had the most ridiculous last scene where he drags this little inflatable boat to the beach, and then there's that sweet sequence where he just loads up.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, shoom,
Yep.
you know, and it's like, screw John Wick, man. This guy was a one-man demolition squad. I mean, he was like, he went into that mansion and
Yeah.
if you knew military stuff, like, you know, and he set off that claymore that just blew up the barracks.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus, man, where did he go shopping for that stuff? You know, I was like, oh yeah, that's my favorite, hands down.
It was
Didn't
so
it-
ridiculous.
Didn't it hold the record for the most kills?
Oh
for the
my
longest
God!
time?
It was-
It might have. Yeah, I think it did. Yeah.
I think it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Schwarzenegger is the only one that could shoot a Desert Eagle without any recoil. It's like the more he shoots it, the more bullet it gets in the magazine. And then of course there's the last knife fight scene.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
put a knife in me. See what's going on in there when you turn it.
It's an outrageous film. Outrageous.
Oh yeah, it's second. It's only like second to that is only like Predator.
Yeah, the very first Predator. Yeah,
Predator's
Yeah,
fantastic.
Predator,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
cool.
You're ghosting us, motherfucker. I don't care if you are in the real world. You come up in position one more time, I'll bleed you. Real quiet. Leave you here. Got that? I love that
Hey,
guy.
man. Thanks for being on the show tonight, brother.
It was fun. It's always fun, man. Thanks for having me, dude.
Awesome, man. And
It was
hopefully
awesome.
we can hook up in the near future.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And we'll definitely look forward to your Golden Skull. I'm sure it's going to be kick ass as well.
I hope so. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, everybody in the chat room, thanks for being here tonight. And don't forget TST, Toy Soldier Tuesday, tomorrow night at 8. We got another guest. But until then, have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Bye.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face.